Hello friends, welcome to Beast Recap. I'm your host. Mobius employed Loki as agent to help them to find a variant, who is biggest threat to the TVA. Today the television series I'm going to explain is a Loki, Season 1, Episode 2, Action Adventures and Fantasy TV series from 2021, Episode 2. In the opening, several Minutemen come through a portal at a Ren Fair in 1985 Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and scan the scene. A nice woman inquired as to what was going on, and commented that their clothing was incorrect. The Minutemen ignore her and head towards the nearby tent where they find the variant. As the four Minutemen enter, loud music is coming from the speakers. The Commander C-20 mine that is in possession by variant, then she takes off her helmet, and begins to attack the other three. While battling one Minuteman, the Commander goes unconscious. The variant then appears from behind him and stabs the Minutemen to death with a sword. The variant then opens a portal using the Minutemen's own devices and leaves with the unconscious C-20. Loki is looking at the rules of time at his new desk while Miss Minutes is projected on the desk. He asks whether Miss Minutes is real or just a recording before swatting her with a magazine. The hologram jumps away and jumps back into her computer. When Mobius approaches, he informs Loki that there has been an attack. Mobius gives Loki an outfit to wear and they meet with Hunter B-15, who informs Mobius that C-20's crew lost communication shortly after they entering the 1985 branch. They don't know which variant attacked the squad, but Loki insists that it's the lesser kind. B-15 says she doesn't want people to forget who Loki is and points out that the word variant is printed on the back of his jacket. Mobius informs the group that they are searching for a variant Loki and displays holograms of all the Lokis they have eliminated. Mobius informs them that they will bring Loki along as an expert after Loki teaches them on the differences between his powers. Mobius assures Loki that he won't betray them because he is aware that they can capture him, and that doing so won't bring him any closer to the Timekeepers. After finding the Time Nexus, the crew travels to 1985. Mobius says that due to the unstable nature of the Nexus, they must appear in real time. They go into the tent, discover C-20's helmet, and surmise that the variant has kidnapped her as a hostage, although never having done so before. Loki tells the team that if they leave the tent, they'll end up like the dead Minutemen. Loki told that the variant wants them to search for C-20, but that it is a trap since, as he says that he can detect his own plans. As the red line gets near, Loki declares that the variant wants him. He offers to bring the variant to them, but he warns Mobius that he needs guarantees that he won't be destroyed once the mission is finished. Loki insists that he must directly talk with the Timekeepers. Mobius instructs the group to set the reset charges after concluding that Loki is playing tricks on him and that there is no trap. When they are finished, they leave, and the charge nullifies the timeline. Mobius returns to the TVA and visits Ravonna in her office to meet her. She mentions how submissive, obstinate, and unpredictable Loki is. Mobius believes that understanding their Loki will help them understand the variant and get more close with him. Ravonna responds to his claim that Loki might have changed by stating that the Timekeepers are keeping a close eye on all events and want the variant captured. Mobius is informed by Ravonna that this is his final opportunity to meet Loki. As Mobius leaves, he is informing to Ravonna that he will erase Loki himself if it doesn't succeed. The agent walks over to Loki in the waiting area, and then they both walk out. Mobius did not want to hear Loki's opinions that he was using a triple bluff. Mobius tells Loki that Loki is there to help him capture the variant, and figured Loki would help because he can't take that his variant is better. Mobius predicts that Loki is attempting to reach the Timekeepers in order to obtain control of the TVA. When Loki asks Mobius why he is sticking up for him, Mobius responds that either he cares about Loki or wants to capture the variant. Mobius wants Loki to go over the variant's case files and then give Mobius his unique perspective, in case there's something they missed. Loki studies the case files while the agent leaves him at the desk with the case files and goes to have a snack. Loki starts talking out loud to himself about what he's found, and a nearby clerk shushes him. After turning, Loki shushes her back. When Loki requests the head clerk for the documents relating to the formation of the TVA, she responds that they are classified. She takes him to the only files he can read, the one regarding the variant, even though all the other pertinent files he requests are classified as well. Loki returns to his desk to look over the documents, and discovers a mention to Asgard's destruction. After reading the file describing the death of his civilization, he brings the files to Mobius in the cafeteria and informs the agent that he has discovered something. Loki points out that he could go to Asgard right before its destruction and do anything he wanted to do, because the apocalypse is coming. It can be any apocalypse and it won't matter what Loki does, because the timeline won't branch because it gets destroyed anyway. Loki insists that the TVA wouldn't be aware of the variant if there was an apocalypse. But Mobius agrees that it's a good theory. He declines to take Loki outside and test the theory. Mobius is assured by Loki that he won't betray him since he gets tired of it, and that he enjoys being right. In 79 AD, the agent takes Mobius to Pompeii, where Mobius takes a variance energy scan. He warns that if Loki is wrong, anything they could do. Vesuvius erupts, the residents flee as Loki shouts that nothing matters. Mobius confirms that there is no variance energy, and the volcano's ash cloud is approaching. When Mobius and Loki return to the TVA, they search for a destruction event where there are no survivors. Mobius wakes Loki awake so they can go on a walk when he nods off. As they return to the eating area, Mobius talks about the beauty of jet skis like the one featured in the magazine on his desk. He says he doesn't have one, but it would be fun to have one. Mobius reads it to remind him of what they're fighting before. They talk about the chaos of creation when the agent declares that he accepts what is. He's lucky that the chaos he emerged into offered him a goal, and Mobius believes that goal to be true. Loki insists that they're the only ones at the TVA who have free will, and wonders how it all ends. According to Mobius, it's still a work in progress, and the timekeepers are sorting out the next epilogue. Loki says that is order, and sounds boring, and says that he knows that no one bad is truly bad and no one good is ever truly good. Mobius compliments Loki on his intelligence before leaving. Mobius returns to the files and looks at the box about the candy box the variant left at the cathedral. Only the years 2047 and 2051 saw the sale of the candy Kobli on Earth. They can locate the variant's hiding place if they compare those years to apocalyptic occurrences. Mobius requests Ravonna to send a task group to Alabama after Loki discovers a reference to a hurricane there in 2050. She warns Mobius about placing his trust in Loki, but Mobius is convinced that he is capable of managing Loki. Finally convinced, Ravonna warns him that there isn't much she can do if things doesn't work out. As they go to the departure room, Mobius tells Loki that he did good work. He hands his knives to Loki, and a passing B-15 snatches them away from him. She gathers the task squad and gives a briefing on Roxgard, the Haven Hills superstore where they will be arriving. Civilians are sheltering inside the large warehouse during the storm. She warns the Minutemen to be on watch because she thinks that the variant is stealing the reset charges to carry out some sort of secret plan. If they come across a Loki, Loki warns them not to kill him. In 2050, Haven Hills is devastated by a hurricane, and the task force shows up in front of the superstore. Loki uses magic to dry his clothing as they enter. The Minutemen divide into groups to search the shelters as the lights start to flicker. Mobius refused when B-15 insists that Loki stay with her. Loki tells Mobius that it's fine and he understands that he has to understand the TVA's trust. With reluctance, Mobius goes with the others. The variant was seeing the task force on the surveillance cameras of the superstore and sets a 20-minute timer on. One of the Tempad and variant leaves the place. Loki tries to start up a conversation with B-15 as they go through the store. She tells him to shut up and they find a teenager was seeing the plants on the shelf. The teen says there is a hurricane sale, and Loki informs B-15 that he could be the teen. B-15 gets close to the youngster, who grabs her wrist and a green glow spreads from him to her, and then he collapses. The variant recognizes Loki while speaking through B-15's body. When Mobius and the others find the refugees, a local tells that if they are the National Guard, they should be taking the refugees to the safest place. They discover C-20 humming to herself while seated in an office. Loki tells the variant that her possessing B-15 is cowardly, and she says that it's almost as cowardly as Loki working for the TVA. He argues that he is working for himself, and they are discovered by a clerk. B-15 falls on the ground when the variant touches him and leaps into his body. Loki continues taunting the variant, asking if he is too scared to meet him face to face, and says that he has an offer for the variant. Loki says that in order to defeat the Timekeepers, he will need a capable lieutenant. When Loki called the variant as Loki, variant angrily asked Loki to not to call him as Loki, Then the variant looks over the employee's name badge and instructs Loki to call him as Randy. Loki says that he has been trying to help the variant, but the variant rejects his offer and walks off. Loki follows him as the true variant waits in the shadows to launch a reset charge. Mobius asks as to what C20 means when she murmurs about it being real. She says that she revealed the whereabouts of the timekeepers to the variant. One of the Minutemen with Mobius calls B-15, causing her to awaken. When Loki asks about Randy's desires, Randy responds that it doesn't matter because Loki is too late. When Loki discovers a reset charge, he discovers that the variant lured them to the place in order to blow up the superstore, and the team with it. The variant possesses the body of a burly man and attacks Loki, and thanks Loki for helping him stall for time. Loki stands up and dodges the variant's next punch, and they fight hand to hand. The variant throws Loki down. B-15 finds Mobius and informs him that Loki has been lost. After recovering, Loki approaches the man and inquires as to what is going on while the possessed man plants another reset charge. After laughing and telling Loki to brace himself, the man falls down. The real and hooded variant is standing behind Loki, who turns to face her. She takes off her hood to reveal that she's a woman and informs Loki that her plan is unrelated to him. As the timer reaches 0, the lights are turned off. It initializes the reset charges scattered throughout the store and drop through small portals, and Mobius and the others see them. The TVA employees notice a large number of branches forming from the sacred timeline. As soon as Ravana and her men learn about the fracture, they leave for the timeline. After removing a temp pad from the timer, Lady Loki exits through a portal while saying goodbye to Loki. Mobius and the others arrive, and Loki sees them and goes through the portal after the variant, and this is the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want a recap of all episodes, playlist link in description, go and check it out. And how was the episode 2? Comment below if you like this video. Smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel, and don't forget to follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Link in description. And if you want any other movie recap video, comment below and I'll see you in the next awesome recap video. Until that, have fun guys.